Hey guys, Matt here again. Welcome back to another Procreate brush tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a 3D paint effect brush in Procreate. It's almost acrylic-like, almost oil-like, but it's really simple to make, so let's go. So, for the shape source, you're going to want to use this, I don't know, ink bleed looking one. It's in the Pro library, you can just find it in there. And for the grain source, you want to use the paper grain, I think it's called. It's called something like that, you can just find it there. I always invert the grain just because you want it to look like the paint is lifting up off the paper rather than going into the paper. So all you need to do to invert it is just double tap. Just double tap 2 fingers and that'll invert it. You can see there it goes from light to dark. From there you want to turn off orient to screen, just because it gets a bit annoying if you're going from portrait to landscape. The brush will look a little bit different. So you can just turn that off. Then in the pencil panel, you want to change the size to around about 16%, and that just gives you a little bit more control of the size. So the harder you press, the heavier or the larger the brush gets. The lighter, obviously, the smaller it gets. The opacity, you want to turn to around about, about 70% will do. And that just does the same thing. So the lighter the press, the paler it'll be, or the more see-through it'll be. The harder the press, the kind of less see-through it'll be. Bleed up to around 70% again. I like to describe that as just making, increasing the contrast of the brush stroke. So you can see it looks a bit kind of grainier there. So then to the dynamics panel, you can see we've got 3 different options there, all do slightly different things. We're going to go with wet mix because that's the one that's best for kind of overlapping paint strokes. And then you want to turn the dilution to around about 65% roughly. Charge wants to go all the way up to, about 80%. Attack, about the same, about 81%. And then pull all the way to the top. The grade, which is just to do with how smooth it's going to be, you want to put it to around 44%. You don't want it too smooth because it looks a little bit too perfect. If you guys want, I can make a video breaking down all the wet mix options, so the dilution, the charge and stuff. It's a little bit hard to explain just in one short video, but I can do a full breakdown. Just let me know in the comments if you want to see that, and I'll do my best to kind of try and explain it. Then moving on to the grain panel, which is the panel where you control basically the grain source. We're going to put the movement to around about 45% roughly, anywhere around there. The scale needs to go to around 35%, and the zoom can go to around 90%, 87% will do. Rotation can stay just in the middle on 0%, but we want to put the grain filtering onto none. That might seem a little bit counterintuitive. Having it on improved makes it look a lot smoother. What we want is like a more grainy effect, so we put it on none. It reduces the overall quality of the grain, so it just gives us a much better effect for this type of brush. And moving on to the shape panel, we're going to leave scatter where it is. Basically what scatter does is adds a random rotation to each brush point. We don't want any of that, we want it to be as smooth as possible, so we're going to leave that at 0. Rotation, we want to follow stroke, which basically means the angle of the brush will follow the direction that you move your brush in, and we want to put randomized on, just so each point, when we start a new stroke, will start randomly. It just adds like a little bit more, it's a little bit more organic looking. And then same as the grain filtering, we're going to put the shape filter into none as well. It just further adds to that grainy sort of look that we're going for. So the stroke panel's really simple. You basically want everything on 0. Spacing will probably be on a little bit when you start a new brush. So just turn it down to none, and then you really don't have to touch anything else on that panel. It's pretty simple. All spacing does is reduces the amount of space between each brush point, just again making it look a little bit smoother. And that's really it. You can play around with the grain source and stuff just to get the texture a little bit different. The shape source, probably keep it the same. It's actually a really nice one to use that because it gets some nice, like, you can almost see bristle marks in it, which looks really cool. So I probably wouldn't mess around with that too much. But you can see it gets a really nice sort of overlapping effect. It almost looks like you're putting multiple brush strokes down at once. It's really nice for blending as well. You can get some really smooth effects with it. The brush also works really well as like a blend, as the mix tool. It looks really nice blending between 2 different colours. Because of the restrictions in Procreate, there's not too much you can do with actually mixing colours, but blending or transitioning between 2 colours does look really nice with the brush. It just adds that little bit more texture to the to the blend rather than it just being like a flat straight blend. If you like the look of this brush, or if you find you enjoy using it, it is a similar brush to what's available in my acrylics pack, and that's a whole bundle of different paint style brushes, 3D effect brushes. I'll leave a link in the description to that pack, so you guys can go and check it out if you want. Let me know in the comments below anything else you'd like me to show you how to do in Procreate, whether it's effects or brushes, and I'll do my best to get a video up of that. Like and subscribe to the channel, it always helps. I've just passed 100 subscribers, which is actually pretty cool. I really like making these videos, so if you like the content, like and subscribe and share, and I'll do my best to upload hopefully a lot more frequently. Thanks guys.